Welcome to the City of Franklin Quarry Monitoring Committee, Tuesday, October 28th, 6 p.m. Regulo, can we have a roll call, please?
Chair Swanson.
Here.
Alderman Salus is excused. Alderman Hassan.
Here.
Member Ten Haken.
Here.
Member Pins.
Here.
All right, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from July 29th, 2025. I don't know if there's any discussion needed for this.
I read them. I nominate them to be approved.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Next topic on the list is citizen comment period. Would anybody like to speak? Okay. Would you gentlemen like to speak at all? No? Okay. All right. All right. Next topic is business. And first, we will start with the presentation by Stantec Consulting Services, Inc., third quarter of 2025. Kristen, thank you.
Good evening. Let's see.
Yeah.
Good evening. Oh, there it is. Just go through the report for the third quarter. So the third quarter comprises July, August, and September. And we did 5 observation events during that period. We had unannounced inspections on July 10th, 13th, and 25th, and September 15th, and an announced inspection on the July 29th. The July 29th inspection also included an inspector from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, and I know Regulo will be talking about that later. As typical, the street sweeper was observed in use on Rawson Avenue during most of the events, so 4 of the 5. And typically minor dust was observed for trucks exiting to the east and occasionally to the west, but nothing significant. No other issues. The northwest gate was the only one in use during those 5 visits. For the seismic monitoring, we did have another meter move during the last quarter. During the second quarter, remember, we had 3 of the Payne and Dolan meters moved. We moved 1 of our meters to coincide with the new location. So the meter that we had on Allwood Avenue is now on Drexel, a little further north and a little further east of where the other location was. So that leaves both of our meters now co-located with Payne and Dolan meters again. So during the third quarter, there were a total of 16 blasting events, and our meters picked up on about 63% of those. And I think a lot of that was just due to the locations of where the blasts were in relationship to the meters. Comparison of the blasting vibrations. There were no blasting events in the third quarter that were above the 0.3 inches per second movement, and 100% of the blasts year to date are in conformance with that. For the air overpressure, the PDD has a limit of 123 decibels for 85% of the blasts within the calendar year. And there was 1 blast event this quarter that had a reading slightly over that, but there were no complaints for that blast. And year-to-date, 98% of the blasts are in conformance with that permit limit, so they're well within their operating ranges. Let's see. For the complaints, we've got the new standard language regarding the new development, and then there quarterly. In the quarter, there were 4 total complaints. 2 formal complaints, 2 informal complaints. One of the formal complaints requested anonymity. For the blasts where we know the general location or the specific address, 2 of them were east of 51st Street, 1 was south of Drexel. All the blasts complaints were related to 2 blasts. The first one was on August 7th. 1 confidential complaint, 1 informal complaint, and then 1 on September 9th. We had 1 formal complaint to the south and 1 informal complaint to the east in the and the typical things with some rattling and that kind of things in the homes. No non-blast related complaints this quarter. So a summary of the blasts. There are 16 total blasts in third quarter. 2 blasts, each had 2 complaints. One of the blasts was in the southern quarry, 1 was in the northern quarry. Like typical, no complaints came from west of the Root River. So it was a fairly typical quarterly report.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty quiet over there.
Fairly quiet. And then for I'll go to the complaint drawing just to show. Of course, it's the last page of this report. So you can see where the blasts were. Probably the largest cluster was kind of in the north central pit, a few to the north and a handful to the south. Ironically, one of the blasts to the south caused a complaint way to the north, and then a couple other complaints to the south. So nothing terribly unusual this quarter.
And the one blast that was slightly over the noise or the air overpressure?
Air overpressure.
There was
no complaints.
No complaint on that particular
No.
blast. Okay.
I think it was 126 and the limit's 123, so a little over, but not significantly. It's not like it came in at 130 or 140 or something like that. Any questions?
There's 2 markers on the map that are real close together for complaint locations. Are they the same residents?
They were not the same. They were similar area, different blasts even, so. We didn't have the same people complaining multiple times this quarter like we've had occasionally in the past.
I just have one question. This might actually be for Pando. I'm not sure. I noticed when I leave Pleasant View Park on Evergreen Avenue coming towards 51st Street, and I look up and I can see there's fresh dirt piling up above the berms on that southern portion, southwestern portion of. Are you exposing more ledge rock for blasting or? Oh.
Yeah, we are. We on? Good? Okay. Yeah, we are exposing more. We're not adding to that berm. We're clearing some away. So you might see some truck traffic up there a little bit, some 6-wheel traffic. But, yeah, we're not piling up, and they're in control of the dust suppression up there. They're supposed to obviously take care of any dust coming, so with the water truck. So, but that's about done for a little while, and then we'll be doing a little bit more throughout the wintertime. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking because there's a lot of the blasting is happening down in the southern portion. It seems that maybe you're expecting more, revealing more ledge to Quarry.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what's happening. We'll be kind of focusing on that. a lot of this year will be focusing on the south end, not so much on the north end. A little bit on the north end in 2026, but a lot of it's going to be on the south end.
Well, you go too far to the north, you're going to take your offices out on Rawson Avenue.
Exactly.
That
Yes.
could be a
Yeah. And
problem.
some of those complaints come from me in my office. So. So.
It's funny.
So, Kristen, was the DNR with you when they?
I incorporated it into one of my announced inspections for the year
Okay.
to make it fit into the budget better.
Very good. Yeah, I see that. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more later. Okay. Very good. Is there any additional discussion needed?
Looks pretty normal.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to accept button 5.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. All right, the next item of business is the Quarry monitoring scope of services for calendar year 2026.
So the scope of work is remarkably similar to previous years. We are working with the same budget allocation as last year. So with some of the cost increases for the monitoring equipment out there and our hourly rates, we adjusted the number of inspection events. So we're proposing a total of 14 events next year. Probably 2 of them will be announced inspections where a representative of Stantec will go inside of the quarry. We try and do that early and late in the season to kind of see changes that are going on. The other ones will be done throughout the year with an emphasis in the busier months. So generally we haven't been out in December and January just because it's a little quieter time of year, but we'll make it at least one inspection per quarter, more in the summer and early fall when they're busiest. Continue to provide email summaries, photos, and inspection form to Regulo. And then we have the monitoring equipment that's out there. We did not have a exceptional blast complaint evaluation included, much like last year. If there is the need for one, we will take the budget for one of the inspections and put it towards that. And then we'll have the quarterly reports and presentations like I'm doing tonight, and they'll be presented roughly within a month and a half, depending on the committee timing of the quarter close. So if there are any changes, we can make them. Otherwise, we can make adjustments throughout the year if there's anything that comes up.
Does that dollar figure, correlate to what it's been in the past?
It's the same dollar figure as we have in the past. I think there's one less inspection just because of the increased costs.
There you go. We've all heard that.
Yep.
In Regulo, that needs to go in front of the Common Council to get approved?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do they need our recommendation?
Typically, yeah. They don't need it, but it's kind of recommended.
Okay. So we
So
could,
we need to make a motion to recommend that the budget be approved by the Common Council?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. Okay, next item of business, update on non-metallic mining reclamation performance audit.
Thank you. So, So the city administered the non-metallic mining reclamation program that is required under Chapter NR 135. So the Department of Natural Resources, they do an audit, performance audit to regulatory authorities, in this case, the city. They do it every 10 years. So the last audit was in 2013. So the site visit was on July 29, the one that Kristen mentioned. And then we received this kind of the report of the audit on August 18. So the results of the audit, they have like 24 categories. So our program, just a caveat that the reclamation program is focused on how the site will achieve the post-mining land uses. It's not focused like in operations, monitoring, blasting. It's more on the reclamation side. So 5 categories are compliant. Like, for example, the review of the annual reports that is submitted every January by the operator. We review the report, we present it to the committee like January, February, and then we transmit the information to the NR along with their fees, and then the city also receives a fee for that. That it has been done each year regularly since 2018. That was not compliant in the previous audit, but now it's in compliance. That covers also the third item, the fourth in the DNR portion. The automatic and expedited, it's kind of not applicable because we currently don't have the reclamation permit, but we'll discuss that in the following items. Complaint response, it's compliance. The process that we have a website for complaints, and we process complaints. We even have the quarterly reports with all the complaints, so that's compliant. Alternative requirements not applicable because the operator has not requested the alternative requirements. So that is in case of a hardship that they cannot meet the requirements of NR 135, so they propose different alternative, but that's not applicable. All these categories here, total of 11, are compliant, but the NR has some recommendations as they identify risk. For example, the city, we currently don't have a permit application, so it's good to have a permit application in case there is a proposal for a new mine. Okay, and this program is citywide, so it's not only focused on this quarry. However, it's not the only quarry in the city, but the permit application will apply for another mine and another location. So
I imagine this was grandfathered in because that quarry's been in operation since the 1940s or something, and so this probably got grandfathered in with the city.
Yes, but I will discuss on that later because that's on the next category.
Gotcha.
So this is about the process, the public notice and hearing process that will need an update to the non-metallic mining reclamation ordinance. And this is more also about procedure, how to have a process for denial of application, an application for transfer of a permit when there's a change of operator. Okay. And then I will jump into the categories that are not compliant. So then in this case, we need to have some actions to become compliant with NR 135. Ordinance review, this is the Plan Development District Ordinance that were adopted in 1997. So they has some provisions that are not compliant with the state NR 135. So that would require an update of this ordinance, and also there are some updates to the non-metallic mining reclamation ordinance. That is a separate ordinance that is citywide, while the PDD are only for this quarry. So, okay. Permit issuance. This is what Member Pinks asked about it. Even though the quarry has been in operation since the 40s, we'll still need to issue a permit. Currently, there's no permit issue, so we'll need to work on that to get a permit issue. Modifications is to have an application in case there is a permit modification to establish this process. The financial insurance amount that was provided when the reclamation plan was approved, but it may need some updates as the conditions change, like inflation, for example. Reclamation plan review is related to the ordinance update as well, to make sure that the process in the ordinance is in compliance with the NR 135. And the reclamation plan content is to make sure that the current reclamation plan meets all the reclamation measures and standards of the NR 135. Fee collection. In previous years, the fee that was collected was not the correct amount. So we're working with the operator to have that resolved, get that fixed. Okay. So at the end of the letter, DNR recommends that the city regulatory authority develop a plan outlining all the steps to meet the requirements. So, and it's still working on a draft of the work plan with all the steps. So I will provide you updates for the following meeting. So this is just the beginning. This is like it may take a year or more to meet all the steps.
This is your next project for the next year.
Yes, yeah.
Sounds like fun.
So we will coordinate with the operator on any actions we'll need to take, and also we may ask assistance from Kristen from Stantec. So once we get all the steps outlined in detail.
Yeah, so I have a question.
Mhm.
So just looking at the corrective actions that they issued, and the first one that they have coming due shows November 30th. So, and that's kind of listed at the bottom of page 3. So do you feel that you have enough resources to assist you with that? I'm sorry, it's the bottom.
Yeah,
of page
the last
3
one.
Of the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, I had a meeting with DNR, and we will propose a work plan, and we may request adjustment of these deadlines.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Because that's really
Yeah.
a quick
Mhm.
deadline to
Yeah.
try to hit.
Are there any penalties for not meeting these requirements?
according to NR 135, there is like a process, and the last step will be that the city regulatory authority will lose the authority to administer the program, and then the program may go to county or may go to DNR for the administration.
Yeah, so again, I think, do you need additional resources? I mean, I know budgets are tight, and do you feel like you need?
No, not at this time,
Okay.
but we don't. But we may have it for future scope of services. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You go to the city council for that,
Yeah.
county council for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is just the beginning. So we'll work on the work plan that will have several steps, and we'll may see ordinance updates, permit applications. So, I just want to kind of provide you like a brief overview and introduction. And
Okay. Is there any additional discussion that's needed, or any
No,
motions that need to, or
there
it's
is
just
no
informational?
Yeah, there's no action requested at this
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, then moving on to the next item is the meeting schedule discussion for our next meeting. Regulo, do you have any suggested dates?
Get our calendars.
Are we looking at January or
Yes.
January? Okay.
I know we've been having the meetings on the
27.
last couple of weeks of the month, which has worked out well for me because I have a lot of times meetings at my church that I'm on committees and commissions for. So on the first 2 weekends or weeks of the month, so it's worked well for me personally, being later in the month. But don't let that sway you.
That's January 27.
27th.
27th?
No. Yeah, and here typically it's like common council. So yeah. Okay.
They got to get the data to me so I can crank the report and get it through review and get it to Regulo. No
You'll
later
wanna-
than 20th then, Regulo? You need it a week in advance?
Correct. Yeah. No later than the 20th. Yeah.
I'm going to try and do, because of the holidays, I'll probably try and get it to you by the 15th.
Okay.
But I've got to get the data and then it's got to go through internal review before I can issue the report.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I would so move.
I'll second it.
I got
All
one.
right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Adjourned.